Hey guys, Mike Bland from St. Louis here. Just wanted to reach out to, as a retired police officer, and reach out to, any of the police officers that were at that Texas school shooting. And I just wanted to bounce off you the scenario that over 20 years ago, they had the Columbine school shooting. The attackers in that case were inside executing students as the police staged and were held up outside around the school, forming a plan. Due to a lack of experience in handling school shootings at that time, they then moved the training up to forming a diamond formation with 3 officers that go into the school and take action the first 3 officers arriving on the scene. They decided that wasn't quick enough. Then they decided to change the training to anyone on scene, first officer, security guard, whoever, goes in, stops the threat. Now we have an army of police officers responding. While the students are inside for an hour being executed. 19, 20 students, whatever it is. And what I just saw blew me away. The cops were out on the street rolling around and fighting with the parents who were screaming at the cops to do their jobs and restraining and handcuffing the parents. You guys, you're going to live with this the rest of your life, being a coward. And people hate cowards. I hate cowards. And God also hates cowards. And you guys are going to have to take this with you the rest of your life. That 9-year-old girls were hiding under tables with cell phones and calling 911 and saying, "Send the police," while the police were there and in the hallway. I get the door was locked at some point. I don't know how long it was locked for, but I know you can get a key well before an hour. And whoever this guy was in charge that decided it was a barricaded subject incident, I'm not sure who put the guy in charge, but when you got a guy inside executing 20 little girls and boys, that's called an active shooter incident. A barricaded subject is maybe a suicidal guy in a room has a gun on himself, where he needs to just talk down. Maybe a hostage scenario or in a bank where rushing in and creating a confrontation is not the best route. Even in that scenario, if the man starts shooting and taking lives, they go in. Or if communications break down, they sometimes elect to go in. But when a guy crashes a truck in front of a school, gets out with an AR, starts shooting at people before he gets in the school, has this published on social media, threatening people days, weeks, hour before, when people asking him why he's buying the gun, he says, "Don't worry about it." I've never seen more cowardice stuff in my life. It makes me being embarrassed to have even been belonging to, at any point in my life, law enforcement. There are guys out there who are not cowards. And unfortunately, many of those guys like me who are not cowards have also gotten out of this job long ago, because the guys who are the real cops have been ran off. And in my case, I was a police chief and I spoke out against corruption. And the powers that be, those dirty people in charge, they got rid of me real fast. But for you guys that are left, I know about the dirty stuff that's going on in the job now. I know about many of the cowards who are left there in the job now. And then in this particular incident, and this is not all police, this is not all law enforcement. There's many guys who have rushed in and saved the day and did their job and did what they took an oath to do. So this is not cop bashing. I totally still support the police and any first responders and military, because I know what we go through and what little thanks there is. It's not for the thanks ever, or pay or benefits or retirement, because there is none. It's a joke. I'm here to tell you. When you retire as a cop, you sell shoes the rest of your life, or you work mall security. That's just a fact. You're not going to retire on that job. I mean, if you do, you're not going to have much. So, rolling around, fighting with parents, handcuffing them in the street, while this guy's killing little kids, really. I mean, being ashamed of yourself is one thing. Like, this is like next level cowardness. I basically, like I said, totally disappointed, ashamed, embarrassed, literally embarrassed to say I was a police officer. People already have a real problem with the police, have a real problem with our system. And this is going to go down as one of the biggest embarrassments in law enforcement. And the fact that the kid walked in an unlocked door, I mean, also really, the school just had a drill on this a few weeks ago. Well, my question is, what went horribly wrong with that? Because active shooter 101 is lock the door. If you lock the door, the whole idea here is to keep the guy outside. But when you place our kids and bring them as lambs to the slaughter and unlock the school, I mean, if you're going to unlock the back door, you might as well unlock the front door. I mean, why inconvenience the shooter after all? I mean, you just made him take 5 more minutes to walk around the back of the school is all you did. And, you know, federal law enforcement, state law enforcement, and local law enforcement, and with our technology, and with as much as we are monitored on everything we do on social media, and with everything that everyone saw and was alerted to this kid's threats. And again, I've already made some other videos discussing this, but the 2 brothers that did the marathon bombing in Russia on an FBI watch list, well, didn't really help much, did it? No one did their job there either. Every time something happens, these guys are on a watch list. They just got out of prison. They just got out of jail. They just escaped from jail. Someone had a bad feeling about them. They were posting threats. So the fact there's been zero progress made since Columbine, and I don't even know what year that even happened, tells me, like I always preach in life, people get what they ask for. So until someone that has an ability to change this does their job, and we, you know, if we can make rockets with SpaceX that take off and then go to space safely and then come back down at the exact same angle and land without tipping over and blowing up, but we can't lock a door at a school, then that tells me the value placed on kids' lives is zero. The value placed on life is zero. And the value placed on an entire school full of kids is zero. People are worried about other things. They're more worried about the next model of iPhone coming out, what the Kardashians are doing, or this Johnny Depp trial. So, seeing people's priorities and, you know, our state, city, local government, they are no longer protecting people. They are not able to. They are combat ineffective. The police are clearly not only combat ineffective, but staffed with cowards. The leadership with the police, cowards. All across the board. I would tell them to their face. I don't care if there's 1,000 cops standing in front of me right now. I'll tell every one of them. Totally disgusted. The guys who got into that job to make a difference have been ran out and not supported by society, not supported by their communities, and they have been ran off a long time ago. So what that's going to result is more of these sorry guys like this responding to save you when you need help. All right, guys. I guess in the future, when we get the real cops back in, we'll probably support them later.